welcome to my review of the LEGO Technic 42114 Volvo A60H hauler. This came out in 2020 and I've been meaning to look at it for a while, and now I have. And it's controlled via an app, which means it can actually drive around, which we will have a look at in just a second. But first, let's have a look at the actual model. So in this model, there is a lot of Technic components, some of which you can see here coming up with these rams to tip the body. And it has all-wheel drive, it pivots in the centre, but also has suspension in the centre. It does not have each wheel suspension, however, but it also has a drive shaft that comes through the middle here, so the front wheels are driven. I think I already said that. But it's also got an engine which moves, and you can pull out this little safety pin. We'll call it a safety pin. And then you can open that up. And then in there is your Volvo engine. And as it moves with the motor, I can just do it by shaking it backwards and forwards. But there you can see that it goes up and down. It's not quite how a real engine works, but it's pretty close. It also has two fans here, which on this sticker here you can see the fans are on the real one. So it's not actually the LEGO ones you can see, but it is still nice that they've included them. And then just put the pin back in here. The Volvo logo on the front is a sticker, as is the two lines. In fact, everything on this is a sticker. This A60H, this Volvo, this A60H, and some warning stickers on some of the components that you'll see. There is no good way of getting inside. Like, the roof doesn't come off like many city vehicles, but you can see inside. And in there is a steering wheel. Well, you can't really see inside. Let's pull some of the safety fencing off. And this wing mirror. There we go, now you can see inside. So there's a steering wheel here, and a seat, and some stickers there for controls, and that's pretty much it. But the steering wheel does also turn when the steering actuates. You can see it turning there. And then there's the battery box, which controls the motors. It has 3 motors in it, and you can turn on the battery box by rotating the flashing beacon. You can see the light now flashing. So that's good. I'll just put this safety fencing back on, which does look very good. Looks very accurate to the real Volvo. And the massive wing mirrors are also very authentic. There is a miscoloured part. I'll just show you this now. On this side, right here, that's not quite the right colour. That's just because there was a missing piece, and I didn't have one of the right colour for some reason. Now I've turned this around. You can see down in here some of the motors with warning stickers on it. But we can also see the large amount of open Technic pins on the side down here, which is a bit unfortunate, the amount you can see in this section of the chassis. But I mean, it does look okay. It's just a shame they're blue and black and grey and weird colours. It'd be much nicer if they were yellow. Also, there's a missing arm there, a Technic lift arm. That's, oops, that was my bad. But anyway, there's supposed to be one of these yellow arms, the same style as this one. 7 long. It just goes like that. So just imagine that's there. Now I've broken this. Was it like that? I think it was. And if you look up the back, there's not a lot to see. But if you tip it over, you can see here have all the system. And there's the camshaft that runs the engine on here. And that is pretty much most of the external details. I did actually forget to say that this is printed. This large fender piece here. That is printed, but I think it's cool. That really is most of the external details. There is, unfortunately, in the tipper bed a couple holes. But apart from that, it does look really good and very solid, especially at the cab end on here. The camera. So, yeah. Now let's see it moving. So, here we go. After you connect it to your device and wait for it to calibrate, which can actually take a wee while, but once it's connected, you can then operate it. I will show you the app in a second, but first of all, you can tip the dump bed. There it goes. It's quite loud, but there's a few motors running there, so there you go, tip it, and then lower it. Fortunately, I don't have a lot of space here, so I can't really drive it forward and back very much, but I can shunt it a little bit. So, ready, forward, and back. And you might notice that it's tried to shift gear. It has actually got multiple gears. It's got 3 gears, which you can, well, it shifts into them automatically, or you can just set it in one of them. And that's pretty much most of the things you can do with the physical model. But if I bring up the app interface, here it is. It actually plays noise. You might be able to hear out of your device's speakers. And then it makes sounds like the real Volvo does, so horn. And then here you can select your gear. So if you're in drive, it'll just shift automatically. Or you can force it to be in gear 1 or 2. And then there's neutral. Then here it tells you your speed. In here. That tells you your amount of electricity left in the battery pack. And then your revs. And then down here, this is how you actually drive it. So you just push it forward, drive forward. There we go. Back to drive back. And then side to side for steering. So, there. And then this is body up. And body down. And then in the center here, you can add load to it, which creates a sound. So you can add tons of load to it. So I don't know, we'll go for 22 tons. And then you can raise it up. And as it's tipping, you'll notice the number going down because it's tipping it out. Which is really very cool. There we go, it's all out. So now you can lower it. And there we go. Then you have gears, so you can see which gear you're in. Then you have the tachometer for it, so you can see what kind of gradient it's on. So if I lift it up, you can see there changing. And then that tells you your total weight transported, so I've done 28 tons. And your time you've been using it, so I've been using it for 7 minutes. How far uphill it's gone, 0 meters. And how far it's travelled, 0. Sorry for that hard cut, my camera just gave up on recording. But that is really all there is here. But it is very cool, and I like the sounds that it plays. And you can go in here and you can get achievements and things, and challenges. And yeah. It is very good app interface, and you can also drive all the other Technic things, such as the Top Gear rally car, the Lieberherr excavator, the 4x4 truck, and then from this year there's the Caterpillar D11 bulldozer, the Mercedes-Benz Zetras trial truck, and the RC buggy. I don't know if the RC buggy was this year, but it can all be controlled from the app, and it does work very well. So yeah, let's have a look at the spare parts left now. Slightly less exciting. Here are the spare parts left in the set. There's not actually that many for the size of the set, and especially the amount of parts in it. Although there are a lot of very large parts, but you know, they're okay. This nice chrome piece. No, this chrome piece is quite nice, but yeah, there's really nothing too amazing. I just realised I forgot to mention the sticker sheet, which is absolutely enormous. Not the biggest we've seen, but definitely one of them. Overall, I really like this set. It is very large, and this box is a bit beaten up, but it's really cool. and it works incredibly well. It's got so many features with the Technic Control app down there. It's, yeah, it works very well. Yeah, I'm not disappointed. I was thinking it would be good, and it has met my expectation. And yeah, I really don't see anything wrong with it. It is one of the large Technic sets. There's the real Volvo, so it does look very similar to its counterpart. It has 2,193 pieces and retails for $229.99, which, to be honest, seems like a very decent price, especially when you think it comes with 3 motors and loads of massive Technic panel pieces. I mean, it gives a price to part of 10.5p in the UK, which is so much better than a set we recently looked at, which was the Lego City set, and it had a price to part of, was it 13, which is shocking. And it didn't have it did have big parts, but nothing like these. I mean, these tyres are enormous, because I was giving it the benefit of the doubt, City one, because it had some big tyres in it, but it didn't have nearly the size of tyres these are. These are enormous. And also, I would just like to point out, I did not pick 22 tons of load just because that's what it said in the box. That was just a coincidence. Anyway, I believe this is my last video coming out before New Year, so have a very happy New Year. And I forgot to say in the video that came out before Christmas, because it was recorded a wee way before Christmas, to have a Merry Christmas. So I hope you had a Merry Christmas and have a good New Year, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye for now.